Hi, my name is Alana. I'm gardening in zone 9B in South Texas. And thought I'd take you around the garden, show you a couple things. So we're at the back of the yard here where I have this compost tumbler, which I've gotten compost throughout the years. I've had it for about 3 years. But I don't know, I'd like a bay instead of a tumbler. It works fine. Here, I think these are the Muskie de Maroc, if I'm saying that right. They're like a pumpkin with little bumps all over it. I actually cleaned out the pantry. I found some old organic rice and organic baby food that had expired. I dumped it in the hole, threw some dirt in, and then planted the seed. They look happier than some other ones that I have. Over here, I had an extra pepper plant I just threw here. Not sure why there. So basically, all of this open space, we plan to, line the fence with fruit trees, berry bushes, slowly but surely. So we'll start on this side. And all these garden beds are lasagna garden beds, starting with cardboard, compost, and then mulch, of course. So we've got lemon balm. Here's basil here. This is basil from last year. It reseeded itself. Some more lemon balm with a cabbage. The dying dahlias. And then there's a giant open space. This patch here throughout most of the day is quite shady, which I think could be beneficial. Maybe blueberries. They seem to not like that direct sun. What went on here? There are feathers everywhere. What happened? The heck? June? Alright. So over here, I had basically a bunch of extra cabbages that I didn't know what to do with, so they went into this tree guild. This tree needs to be staked up, but it was free. If you're in the Houston area, they have free tree giveaways every now and then. I don't know about other places. I have a ton of comfrey. It just keeps multiplying, and I'm trying to sell it, but I can't get rid of it. It's everywhere. I use it to mulch. I use it for compost bins. I had chronic tendonitis in my wrist when I was welding at my job, and so comfrey helps with that too. I'll freeze it into pucks with a little castor oil, and then kind of take a piece of a t-shirt, wrap the puck in the t-shirt, and then tie the t-shirt to my wrist and leave that on there. Immediate relief. So yeah, comfrey is really good with that. Knit bone is what they call it. This is a lime tree that I thought had died over the winter. I mulched it with an old kale plant, actually. And of course, when the time came, they both came back with vigor. So that was really cool. And then there's a giant weed back there. So here I think I planted a potato up in here, not sure. The rest is sunflowers, another potato. This is the squash that's not doing well. I want to say that's the Turk's turban gourd. I don't know for sure. Okay, moving on. So we just input these grow bags here on to line this back fence because these guys were digging up and escaping, and we also have a rabbit problem, and so the rabbits are coming in too. But the beans are doing well. There is some pest damage. I'm not worried about it. Okay, maybe that looks a little alarming. Yeah, I think I just planted sunflowers in here. Told myself I'd label this year, but look at that. Look at that. Market more cukes. One label, and then that's an extra pepper. I have that whole pepper. More sunflowers that are getting kind of eaten up. I have amaranth. I mulched here with amaranth to get this result. This was on purpose. And this is actually an okra from last year. I thought the peas would climb up, the sweet peas, but that's not happening. This is thyme. I've got a couple dahlias in here. And this is lavender. And hollyhocks, which have never done that well for me. I don't think I've ever grown a hollyhock flower. So in this corner, this is the end of the yard. Neighbor's house is on the other side. This is a 3-year-old fig tree, and more comfrey. I haven't gotten figs off of it yet, but I'm hopeful for this year. This is a blackberry bush, thornless. I want to say it's the Apache blackberry, but it's blooming. It's putting on blackberries, so we'll have a flush of blackberries soon, which is nice. I don't have a control system for this. It's just kind of holding itself up, which I kind of like it. Yeah, that's that on that. Over here, more amaranth and a couple roses that aren't doing well, and then a zinnia bush, and then yeah, again. And then another Turk's turban gourd here. So this here is the mini earthworks solution to our standing water problem. Someone put footballs in there, I'm guessing. I was a child. But basically I dug out this whole thing, built up the walls, and then I laid rock down. I kind of did like an adobe style, and it actually worked. I'm surprised. And then I planted it. So Juno is stepping on the comfrey, and I planted. I'm obsessed with HEB, so I'm always buying their native plants. This coral honeysuckle, and then at Gurney's I found this dwarf weeping willow, and I just have this picture in my head of it being, I don't know, 5 to 6 feet tall, someone being able to like put a chair underneath and chill in the shade of it. Anyway. So under here, I've got comfrey that's for sale because I have so much of it. It is coming out of my ears. That's stinging nettle. This is a lemon spice pepper, a couple purple tomatillos. The pepper actually reseeded itself in the garden bed. The whole pepper, all the seeds inside the pepper. So I took it out, separated it, planted them up. This is another blackberry and a blueberry that, I don't know, I'm not feeling too good about the blueberry, but we'll keep the faith there. Okay. These garden beds. These two calendula have been here since, I don't know, maybe, I guess the winter. I'm tired of deadheading. Looks like the insects are getting after this one, but that one's getting ready to put on another flush of blooms. So I might scrap that and, you know, deadhead that one. Here, what is this? We have aroma tomato that needs to be staked. I've got some 8-foot bamboo stakes in my garage that I'll put in here, and we'll just do 1 liter. More zinnias, black-eyed Susans. They just love it here. They don't stop growing here. Onions. So if you don't know, the only way I've successfully grown onions with a big bulb is you have to move the soil from around the base of the onion so that that bulb can get large. I didn't do that. I did it to this one a little bit, but you got to keep doing it throughout the season. Let's see. Oh, that is not going to come out of the ground. So yeah, you get small onions like that don't bulb up because they need to increase in size, and they can't do it when all that soil's around them. So you gotta kind of move it from around them probably once a week as they grow. But you know, life happens. You get small onions. More comfrey. There's 3-4 plants right there. That is kale we've been eating off of, clearly. This is a patch of chamomile, and then here, just to you know, that is cucamelons. I've never grown cucamelons, but I've attempted so many times, and the only thing I want is to taste a cucamelon. This was a daffodil that bloomed, which was nice. These are 2 watermelons that have yellow flesh. Very excited to try that. That was a bird bath. It was up here, but the water just kept leaving the bird bath. So we put it on the ground. More comfrey. I don't want to talk about it. This is the parent thyme. How have I not eaten that? This is the parent thyme. This is the one all the way back there. Something's eating it. This is a radish. This need not be in here. Oh, look at that. Y'all, I just let my garden go. It just does what it wants. I sprinkled kohlrabi seeds along this row here. Kohlrabi is like it tastes like broccoli in my opinion. You have to peel it. It's really good in like stir fries and Asian dishes. I tried it for the first time year before last. And I'm like, this is my favorite vegetable now. So I've got, I think these are the purple kohlrabis. I have a row of strawberry plants that I wanted to be accessible from the patio. So those are doing their thing. Then we have this garden bed on the left. Again, another row of strawberries that are accessible from the patio. And in this blank spot, I sowed wildflower seeds, or just random calendula from over there. And so those are starting to come up. And the grass, the Bermuda grass. This is gonna be a pain to deal with. I'll probably dig up the mulch and put down cardboard and then cover it back up. But yeah, strawberries are doing fine. Not sure why that zinnia is leaned over like that, but I'm here for it. This, oh, I'm so excited. This is, what is this? I think this is the Turk's turban gourd. Yes, yes. And there's one right there. So yeah, that's the Turk's turban gourd. I want it to get big, kind of like ground cover to protect the soil some more than it already is, even though there's wood chips everywhere. Interesting. So this is the envy zinnia, which is supposed to be like a lime green color. It looks like it's been sun faded because it already bloomed, maybe. I don't know. Got some basil. Celery is right here. And then I've got tomatoes. I think that's a sun gold that's coming on. That's got to be aroma. More comfrey. Please help. And I think I only grew Romas and red zebras, and then that one sun gold tomato that I got from a nursery. And then that's it for the tomatoes. Really haven't been successful, except for my first or second year gardening is when I was successful with tomatoes. Which is fine, but look at these escape artists. What were you doing? Go away. Go. Shoo. Shoo. Both of you. You're in cahoots. Alright, what were we talking about? Yeah, tomatoes. I think this is going to be a good tomato year, though. I'm growing my first peony from bare root. What's up with this disease? Don't like the look of that. I planted beans in the ground. These are runner beans, but you know, the rabbits got to them. They are coming back, but we'll see. Here I planted kohlrabi. It looks like 1, 2 have come up. 2 little guys. Oh look, 3. Nope, that one's dead. Decapitated. Then I have a couple green stalks. This one has got beans in the top to deter the rabbits. And then lettuce, arugula, chamomile. These are beets here. What else I got up in here? Swiss chard. What's that? interesting. But yeah, it'll fill out. It'll look really good soon. Here, it's just beans. I had snapdragons in there, but I moved them over here. This is snapdragon I got from probably HEB. This one I started from seed, which it is taking its sweet time. That pepper was a volunteer I moved in here. And then of course calendula from the winter. I gotta get rid of that. I need to get rid of that. I transplanted celery. It came back. I mean, so we had some casualties, but it doesn't seem to like it very much in here. I think I need to take this apart and revamp it. Down here, these are looking chlorotic. I got them from a nursery up in Marble Falls, Texas, which is a great nursery. They had so much variety. Another snapdragon. Those are the fisheye peppers. And then I tucked some strawberries in here as well. They seem to like the green stalk a lot. Of course, onions. There's a topped basil. I think I need to rotate this. So that way, it's a south-facing sun. So this would be the north side of the tower. Yeah. And I think that's the whole garden tour. Oh, my little project pots. So my goal with these pots was to have something bushy in front, like a low-growing marigold. I think I don't know if they're called the Cracker Jack or what, but I planted one. They seem to have come up along with the tomatillo. I overseeded tomatillos, but I wanted these are oats and peas. I wanted these to grow tall, and then the marigolds or whatever is growing, whatever flower, to start growing low, making like an arrangement on a budget. It's all started from seed. And then again, same with this pot. I guess the marigold's up, and it also has a tomatillo. This one looks like it's doing, I must have seeded it more with oats and peas. But yeah, that is it. And our grass has been a struggle. We had these giant weeds. I'll show you. We had these weeds everywhere. And I don't know if you can see how big this backyard is. It's large. And so I went through and I had the grandpa's weeder thing, and I weeded every single weed in this yard because I refused to spray anything. I mean, like, you could just kind of see the slant. Everything would just, all the runoff would just go straight through the garden. And, you know, I wasn't wanting to eat any of that. And so I just pulled them out. I reseeded, which it worked really well up front. But back here, like, the birds have free reign. And so I think next time I'll use seeding mulch. Yeah, I'll use seeding mulch. And I started feeding them their own bird seeds, which is probably why there's action and feathers in that corner over there. I don't know what goes on. I don't need any bird drama though. But yeah, so we're still working on these patches. It has gotten so much better. I haven't fertilized anything. I do throw, I throw coffee grounds down. Any excess water from like boiled eggs or something, whatever organic matter I can get down into this yard to kind of retain moisture. I try to do that. So we will see how it goes. I think throughout the years it will get better, just like a garden bed, right? So I've never grown grass, but I've grown other plants. I've grown soil before, and so that's kind of what I'm trying to recreate on a large scale here. So we'll see how that goes. Again, this is probably one of the worst spots. And then this spot has recovered so much. I seeded clover here. As you can see, I don't mind them. Trash. But yeah, it's coming in nicely. So that concludes the garden. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye.